What is up, everyone? Welcome to the beautiful Cornerstone Park here in Henderson, Nevada. I'm your co host, Matt Feldick. Skylar is joining me here on the mics once again. Skylar, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing phenomenal, energized by some phenomenal performances in this very park yesterday, some that have been going through the night, and excited to watch another 200 plus runners start their fun today in just about 20 minutes here at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. Just good energy yesterday, good vibes. Looks like we have another day of great weather, and it's time to see what many of these runners can do now that they've trained, they've prepared, and now it's time to execute.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting to kind of follow along. We've got a variety of different race distances kicking off today. I believe we've got a 6 hour, a 12 hour, a 24 hour, a 48 hour. We've got the 72 hour that started yesterday. We've got a 50 mile. We've got a 100 mile. Jackpot Ultra Running Festival has a little bit of something for anyone, and it's just a good time as the showgirls are back out. They were here yesterday morning for the USATF 100 Mile Championships, and they're back.
Yeah, it is. It is high desert, so it's a little chilly out there. Glad to see that Elvis has the full leather suit there, keeping him quite warm as well. But you can see it is a vibe out there. A lot of folks. You got a lot of extra crew. And the great thing about this course is these loops are a little over 2 miles. So these runners are going to be able to access their crew, their aid stations on a regular basis. So it's going to be high energy throughout. No real chance to have any lapse in motivation.
Yeah, no, and it's not just us here blessing everyone with our presence. We're also joined by the great Jamil Curry. Jamil, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning, Matt and Skylar. We are here for another great day of ultra running here in Henderson. There is new energy out here. There are so many people lining up. They're actually trying to herd the crowd a little bit to keep it open for those 100 mile and 72-hour runners that are still out there from yesterday. But yeah, great energy for this next start, this next day of truly a festival weekend of running here in the desert.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and for anyone who tuned in yesterday, um, we broadcast the USATF 100 Mile Championships here. We will actually be bringing you a new course today,
Yeah.
as all of the Saturday runners and the 72-hour runners yesterday run what is kind of like a C-shape loop. And so we'll be able to kind of showcase a little bit of that today.
Yeah, and even
Yeah,
for
we're
returning runners, I think this is a new course from previous years for them, slightly adjusted as they head around.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to send it back over to the Chris Cam. Again, one of the things that makes this event so unique is the atmosphere that Ken creates here. He does a great job at making sure it's a fun time. I don't know if we are going to get a shot of it, but I believe I heard that Elvis is back out, and maybe the pink Cadillac. Is the pink Cadillac back out as well, Jamil?
I did see Elvis, and I think we can get that live shot for you here in a second. Chris maybe is going to go. He's searching for the pink Cadillac. I think it might be here. Looks like he's going to go find it for you.
And I did see post race yesterday, Callan Khan, who ended up, pulling out of the USATF 100 Mile Championship, did get a nice photo with the pink caddy.
Nice. Oh, it's pretty. It's pristine as you see it on the screen there. And when you're in Henderson, Nevada, it's not quite Vegas, just outside in the suburbs, but you do still have a lot of that energy. It is the home of many folks that do help Sin City thrive on a regular basis for vacationers. So you can see from this aerial shot, it's a beautiful venue in Cornerstone Park, and it's right in the middle of a neighborhood. So we likely will see some of those local residents milling about walking their dogs, walking their kids, and enjoying their beautiful Saturday morning in Henderson.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of that yesterday, right? But it being a Friday, probably going to see quite a bit more traffic today on a Saturday. Jamil, can you give us just a little bit more insight in terms of, what is the energy like out there? How does it compare to what we saw yesterday?
Yeah, similar energy. It looks like they're doing the pre-race speech right now.
Yep.
Everyone's gathered up by the steps here, so maybe we can go cut to that real quick.
Yep, we're over on the Chris cam now. Chris Warden doing a great job at making sure we don't miss an important moment in this broadcast, and we'll be bringing you about the first hour of today's race. So we'll be going from about 8 a.m. until about 9 a.m. Pacific time. We want to, give all the athletes who weren't in the 100-mile USATF championship yesterday some love. And so we're going to, showcase that new course and bring a little bit of that to you today. Let's see if we can get some volume.
You want to squeeze in if you can.
Here we go. Let's listen in.
Good.
Stephanie McNeil, 470. Please come down and see Stephanie. Remember, we do still have runners on the cars. Please walk away, please. And especially to get the aid station clear so we can get to the aid station.
And I believe we are just going to be a few moments away from the pre-race speech from the great Ken Rubley, who we got to hear a lot from yesterday. Always bringing the big energy.
Oh, absolutely. Big energy, big attire choices, big hats. You never really know what you're going to get with Ken. And as you can see right there, he is bringing a lot of Justin Timberlake energy with that fedora there. So super excited to have Ken as the MC and RD for this event. And Beyond Limits Running has definitely put in a lot of work to make Jackpot what it is. And that's why a lot of these folks that are going to be running today are returning runners. Like they love this event and they come back year after year. So looks like here come the pre-race announcements.
All right, good morning. I apologize for doing this work. It's been a really cool festival so far. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for being out here. It's our 9th year, and every year we keep hoping, like, gosh, it's getting there. One day Mother Nature's going to be nice. Things are going to come well together. And all that it's happening so far. So keep it going by running well today and all that kind of stuff. But hold on. Stephanie, what? No. Stephanie McKeel, Stephanie McKeel, the wife. Yeah. All right, so we'll get right to it. So yeah, 9th annual Jackpot. There's a new course out there. It's phenomenal. It's faster. The new bridge isn't underwater. You won't get lost. You'll find it. You'll run faster. You'll love it. Little things out of the way. There's porta potties down there, 6 of them. There's real bathrooms. We call them that way. No other porta potties on the course. We cannot get porta potties to the back of the course. So it just is what it is. So you got to hold it for 2 miles. I apologize, but that's how it is. So, but real quick, want to thank a couple sponsors. Of course, Eptomit has been a sponsor for us for a long time. You can feel the pain when you rub it in. Run through, you put it on your feet. I've been tapering for 7 years, so I don't run much, but apparently it keeps the blisters away real well. Tailwind and Mod Balls is new. We turn down almost every product sponsor unless we think it's good. So the 100-calorie little bites, I bought them. and started eating them. And I go, yeah, I kind of like this. So that's why they're there. They're brand new, so thanks for tasting them. And also, I want to thank my friends at Seaplace Media and Air Viper Ruddy. We partnered. Jamil, who's the owner and founder of Air Viper, and a mentor of ours. It's kind of funny. I'm 52, almost 36, but Air Viper is by far the best running company in the country. We've been friends for a long time. He timed our first blue race. But in any event, we did a really neat live stream last night. And it's not the cheapest thing to do, but we're trying to build the sport forward. So that, yeah, they went all in with his team, and so did we. And then at the last minute, I go, can you please come back an hour the next morning and at least get the hour start of this race? So by all means, we want to expand it. And big thanks to these guys. They've done a really nice job. And then also too, obviously, this whole company's about my wife. 11 years ago, kidney pancreas transplant. She started the company to keep people go beyond limits. She had to go through dialysis, couldn't quit. So to teach the body to go beyond limits, that's how this started. And yep, kidney failed again. It happened. A kidney failed again. So we're getting very close to her going on the donor list. And when that happens, we're going to rely on this community of people she developed to help spread the word. So I have to give that a look. Here she is. You know, notice we were here 2 years ago. She went in the hospital 36 hours before the race. I came out at 1 in the morning. I started a U-Haul full of stuff. I'm like, dear God, there's sports pages to shop, and I'm in New York. I'm eating my Pop-Tarts. But strangers, everything came together. And that was a year when a couple people tried to quit. I'm like, what do you call my life? But anyway, so she's our inspiration. But along with that, that was a year where I looked okay, but I was a basket case. And we have, we're husband and wife, little team. We have an enormous group of friends that helped us. Rosemary over here. She wasn't going to be here 2 years ago. She called me at 2 in the morning. Says, I'm driving from California. I'm going to do. That was fast. She drove all night to take over the kids. And then Lee is our co-RD. He took care of everything else. Jimmy, our trainer, he's done phenomenal. He and his wife did everything. So it's a great support crew. So thank you. And then we have Kevin taking pictures. Remember, this is anything. What's Kevin? There he is. We have Jose taking pictures. So smile big. We don't charge you for the pictures. They're all yours. So have at it. And Jimmy's just going to tell you what he'll tell you. He's an old Army guy, so he's going to be mean about it. He's got to see your bib. And if you're going to put it on your leg, we can put it on the left leg because when you run by, we can see it. Right? And it's catching you the whole time. You don't hear you. I know from 9 years. It's catching you the whole time. I mean, he just timed a new world champion record last night, so we're not missing that. But please, when it gets colder at night, we got to see your bit, okay? So got to see your bit. So that's good. And speaking of that, yes, we did have Camille Herron set our new world championship record on the 12:41. A 7:36 pace. And Harley Glick was right behind her. So the point is, it's a really fast course. It was kind of neat. You're running on a course that literally, world championship record was just set. But what time is it? She gets mad.
7:52. You have 8 minutes.
No, we go. Famous last words. Time to kill.
We had a lot of media out there last night. We were very fortunate to have the local media come out. It was also national media because if everyone's noticed out here that the Achilles guys here, Achilles International, have been helping. Yeah, has been helping our running runners who have been in our race. And we're very committed to not only helping get more guys, but to educate the community so that 12-year-old who's visually impaired, let him know he can become a runner, that these resources exist. So we were blessed last night to help start their chapter, give them a $20,000 donation to help get going. So you'll see us want to help you guys spread the word. Again, it's trying to educate those little guys out there that gives this resource, because I know all of you would love to help people. We just need to let them know you exist. So that's going on too. What else? I apologize for the first time ever. There's no way. So that's good. When it comes to the aid station, those that are new, Stephanie does a great job. I stay away. I don't get in the way, so she can do all that. But if it's in the middle of the night, you want something hot, it's best to just tell us, and we'll get it for you next week. That way, I'm not giving you a 210-degree thing of soup that you're gonna get spill on yourself. So you say, hey, can I get a thing of soup the next time around? And that'll be no problem. Oh, and something that like Jamil is the best at everything there, but we did not have this. We have a reader board sandwich sign on our start finish line that will tell you the menu and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, kind of neat. Yeah, that's like the one thing. I copy everything from him, but I'm like, ooh, sandwich board sign. So that's up there. All right. What?
Yeah, hold on.
Listen, the screen is not attached to the timing system. Yes, I looked straight ahead. The screen is not attached to the timing system. It has to be reset about every 15 minutes. Okay, so if you don't see your name up there, don't stress. I'll reset the screen. You have been read. Again, I literally timed Camille yesterday, not with a single lap. And if her speedy behind can get caught on every one of them, all of you can. So just run. All right, because I love media, we are literally going to try and squeeze in between that pillar and this pillar tight. Because it really is a neat picture. What we're going to do is we're going to take a picture, and then we're going to gather down the road, and we're going to start this way at 8 o'clock. And yeah, don't trip up there. Oh, and Elvis's big Cadillac's there. So if you're not trying to get a world record, stop and take a picture on your way. But literally, everyone in between, Showgirl, up a little taller, please. Yeah, no, because she's got to get in the picture this way. No, get closer. Yeah. All right, Intelli, is the wife in there somewhere? Yeah.
There he is.
Okay. All right. Now do a silly one.
All right, let's go start gathering.
All right, with just under 4 minutes to go till the start of 6 different races.
Hold on, very importantly, if you are in the 6-hour race only, we are allowing a partial lap in the 6-hour race. What that means is there's buckets. Hold on, every part. 6-hour race, there'll be a bucket in every half mile. So if you're on your final lap, we're going to give you something with your number on it. And when the horn goes off out there, you're going to drop it in whatever bucket you just passed. So I very much think the person who just reminded me that.
Looks like we're going to get this thing started right on time, Skylar. Doing a great job at, giving all the last-minute instructions, making sure everyone's stoked and ready to go. Looks like a great time.
Yeah, you see a lot of folks out there getting ready to rock, really covering the spectrum of the running community, everything from the 6-hour race all the way up to the 48-hour kicking off right now. You have the 72-hour runners still out there as they started yesterday morning, all going off at the same time, running identical courses. So no one's ever going to be alone out there. Definitely a lot of high fives shall be exchanged. And hopefully some new friends made.
Super exciting times.
You can see the runners all starting at that same start-finish line that we've seen on the static shots, and we're about to pass through. However, you do still have the 72-hour and the tail end of yesterday's USATF 100-mile national championships still going on. So keeping the course clear enough for the runners still en route to pass through, but then they will pinch in here in the final seconds as we got just over a minute to go. and take off on their journey around the 2.1277 mile loop through Cornerstone Park down here in Henderson, Nevada at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival.
Yes.
People are getting excited as we are just moments away from kicking off a myriad of events here in just a matter of seconds.
That's a guy. Everyone feel it?
And what do we think? Is that a repeat suit from yesterday, or is it new?
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Ken just slept right next to the start-finish line. So it might be the exact same one he was rocking last night. But I'm okay with it. I am okay with it because it is super fashionable.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm coming for you, Andrew. Come for me.
It looks like our clock will be about 3 seconds off. That's pretty good.
Okay with that.
We were about 45 seconds off yesterday, or last night, which gave us a little bit of a scare as Camille Herron was walking down her 100-mile world record. So I mean that's pretty close. That's pretty good.
Quite true.
I mean, you can bet on horseshoes in Henderson, Nevada, and I think this works here. It's close in horseshoes and hand grenades, right? Something like that. But you see the runners getting their day started, passing by those Vegas showgirls. You got Elvis hanging out with Ken and Steffi on the right side of your screen. So getting it going in Henderson, and it is a pretty crisp morning. Forecast in the low 50s, high 40s and low 50s here for the first couple of hours, warming up to a high of 70 out there today. We did see during yesterday's 100-mile national championship that similar temperatures did cause a bit of struggle for many of the runners out there. So hopefully these runners have heeded the warnings, thought through their hydration and cooling strategies, and can go ahead and just keep clicking off consistent laps as they journey through Cornerstone Park. And we're following these runners heading on down what we have affectionately termed the Henderson Strip.
As now we take a look at the beautiful Cornerstone Park. Again, huge shout out to the city of Henderson for, allowing the use of this park for the weekend for a variety of races, including last night's USATF 100-mile championships, but also the myriad of races that are kicking off today. This is a public park, so we will probably see, people walking their dogs, pushing their strollers, getting their fitness in, But yeah, huge shout out to the city of Henderson for allowing Ken and the team at Beyond Limits to utilize this incredible facility.
Yeah, so just to give a little bit more information about the course, the runners that have just started are going to be traversing a 2.12-mile loop, a bit of a C-shaped loop here through Cornerstone Park, crossing 3 bridges. You see one of them right here with a lot of the runners going past. It's not a particularly flat course. This is the first time that this particular loop is being run. It's an adjustment from previous years that had some pretty impressive performances in its own right. But Ken said this course is faster, and I believe it, but it does not mean that it is flat. The old course, which is a little bit longer, I think it was about 2.5 miles per loop, averaged about 80 feet of gain and descent on each loop. So anyone running, let's say 100 miles, had about 4,000 feet of gain and loss over the course of their journey. So that's the rough expectation that some of these athletes have gotten themselves into. The big course change from previous years for folks who were watching that might have run it before is there was a section where you kind of had to cut across some grass. That has been moved onto a sidewalk area, allowing crews to have even more ample space to be able to access the runners and set them up for success as we move through the day and into the night and into tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and I had to throw it to the Chris Cam as we got a brief glimpse of Elvis there. We've got the showgirls. Don't look as cold today as they did yesterday during the morning and in the evening. And there you see Ken Rubley, the race director of Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. It's just it's a whole vibe out there.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of bodies on course out there today. So we have, as we mentioned, 6 races that just kicked off. You have 46 individuals running today's 100-miler, which is an open race, all attendees, versus yesterday's USATF National Championship, of which folks had to be a USATF member. You have the 50-miler, which has 29 runners registered. You have the 48-hour, which has 38 competitors. You have the 24-hour, has another 32 competitors. The 12-hour has 41 folks on course, and the 6-hour has 49 individuals throwing down. So, going to have folks going with a lot of different race strategies, a lot of different speeds, a lot of different goals out there, but should definitely help keep that energy live. And, hey, all those folks have crew, family, friends hanging out around the course as well. So just going to be quite the party out there. As we're cruising through the course, you can see the course is fast, a little bit more softer surfaces than we saw yesterday, a lot more packed dirt, gravel, a little bit of that concrete, so firm underfoot. That's what Ken was alluding to about this course being fast, but not going to be just running on sidewalks around and around. So should be smooth sailing for these runners as they hopefully have made the right shoe choice, throwing on a bit of a ankle gaiter to ensure that some of those smaller pebbles don't hop in and bite them in the ankles.
Yeah, and do we have a percentage breakdown for this event in terms of what percentage of the course is like soft surface versus concrete or paved?
Yeah, so historically, it's been about 45% gravel, 45% asphalt, 5% grass, 5% concrete. With the removal of the grass section this year, or at least the strong narrowing of that, it's going to be closer to 10% on that bridge and concrete surfaces, the sidewalk, heading up to that start-finish line. But 45 gravel, 45 asphalt, 10 concrete, the ability to move quickly if one desires.
So quite a bit more soft surface for sure than
yesterday's
than
5%.
the USATF 100-mile championship course, which I think is 95% asphalt concrete.
Correct.
Nice. Bet that feels good.
And anyone can pretty much wear whatever gear and shoes they want. This race not as tight with their rules for competition. So if a runner wants to wear the thickest shoe that they could possibly find on the market, that is legal here versus yesterday's race where there was a maximum stack height of 40 millimeters. But you see folks rolling through here, through the Henderson Strip, home of all of these crews. And we now have the static cam of the start-finish line here where runners will pass through on a regular basis. Obviously, for the timed events, the goal is just to cross through that timing mat as many times as possible before your race duration ends. For the 50-miler, they are going to be heading through 23 and a half laps. So I think there's a little shortened out and back type section for the 50-miler. And the 100-mile folks are going to be heading around this course 47 times. So the nice round number in their head they'll be counting down as they pass that sandwich board lap in and lap out. And you heard Ken mention for the 6-hour race, they have buckets actually around the course. So officially in the race guide, the runners were told that they would only count half a lap for their final push around, in the waning minutes of the 6-hour. But they're going to have a few extra buckets out there lining the course. And so whatever the last bucket that a runner passes, they'll be able to drop a little token in with their number on it so that they can get credit for a partial lap. That way they don't feel like, if they head out with 7 minutes remaining before the 6-hour finishes, that they have to sprint 2.1 miles.
Yeah, that would be rough. That'd be fast, though, right? I feel like that'd be a pretty good 2-mile time.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty solid world record.
Be okay.
No big deal. Saw enough of those yesterday. Folks might be inspired to try to do it. I don't know if they want to do that after 5 hours and 57 minutes, but hey, go wild.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not?
And you can see there are some pretty solid scenes to take in as folks go around this loop. We had seen a bit from the drone earlier. We talked about the 3 bridges that folks have to cross over, but they're just basically going around this water feature here in the center of Cornerstone Park. This park, established about 10 or 11 years ago down in Henderson, Nevada. Pretty solid trail system if you can put together some full 1 and 2 mile loops going on. But it used to be a rock quarry, so it's a little bit sunken below the road and surrounding neighborhoods, which does become a planning factor later on in the day. As the temperatures warm up, you are sort of seated in that bowl, so that catches a lot of the rays, and then you got a bit of reflection off that water in the center of the park. So even though the air temperature projected today may only be 70 degrees, might feel considerably warmer in that high point. And you're seeing here on course, not a lot of tree coverage at all. So once that sun gets high in the sky, you're pretty much exposed for the bulk of the day. So it's going to be really important for these runners out there, regardless of their overall goals, to make sure that they're staying on top of skin protection, sun protection, maintaining that core body temperature so they can keep moving forward.
Yeah, and we saw that play out, a lot in yesterday's 100-mile race, but I think it's going to be even more important for, especially maybe some of these longer fixed time folks, those 24, even those 12-hour, 24, 48-hour folks who, they're going to deal with kind of fairly decent swings in temperature. They're going to have to do a pretty good job at kind of thermo-regulating and some topical cooling during the day, especially with, I think you said the high is going to be around 70 today, so that's going to be even a little bit warmer than yesterday. And we saw quite a bit of carnage in that elite USATF 100-mile field. Got to cool, Got to keep it cool.
And you got to do it early. That's the thing. If you do it once you start feeling hot, it's already too late. You're just doing damage control at that point. So preventions before interventions is the name of the game today. So hopefully folks learned from either previous experience or what happened out here yesterday on course and are ready to rock as we continue to traverse around the course. We got the bike cam following a runner along. And you
Dude,
do
shout
see
out to Bryce on the bike.
Yeah.
You know, his first couple goes yesterday, we didn't have it ironed out, but Bryce's bike cam is just crushing it now. On a new course at that.
Indeed. These sweeping turns. You see the runners following the black arrows. That will make sure that they stay heading out in the right direction. And they will have a little bit of a climb and then a hard right-hander, which will lead them back through the start-finish line and out again on the course. Not sure if that's exactly what we're about to hit. I think we're still a little far out from that, but the runners have a very clear sort of icon to know when they're about to wrap up one of their laps.
And we just got to see we missed him take off, but we got to see him pull away. Elvis in the pink caddy. He's gone.
Iconic. Gone but not forgotten.
You know, that reminds me of the pink Cadillac on one of 2 Chainz album covers. You know, shout out to 2 Chainz, the Atlanta native.
We were about to take that in very different ways because I was going to say I've been driving Jamil's car down here in Phoenix in the studio where we're broadcasting from while he's up in Henderson. And one of his preset stations on the satellite radio is the Elvis station.
You know, he probably programmed it over the last month or so to, you know, really, you know, get the ambiance, get the energy levels where they needed to be.
I don't know. You know, Jamil may be preparing for his next venture as a Elvis impersonator in Vegas. You know, maybe that's why he wanted to go on the scene.
Speaking of Jamil, yes, there he is.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if the hair is quite ready for Elvis, but you know, if he wants a rebrand, we'll pitch it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The best part is he has no idea what we just said.
No.
Jamil.
We're actually gonna check in with Jamil here. Jamil, how are you doing? You're muted on your end, buddy. There
Doing
we
well.
go.
How are you guys?
Hey, we are good. We are good.
So, listen, boss, I got a question for you. I just told the folks watching the live stream, I've been driving your vehicle around. It's been great. Thank you for lending me your keys. That was highly irresponsible of you, but I appreciate it.
We live one life.
Tell that to your vehicle. I'm kidding. I have hit absolutely nothing in it. But the one thing I did hit was the satellite radio button. Tell me, why is one of your presets the Elvis station? Were you just getting really hype for this event, or do you really have a deep love of Elvis that I was unaware of?
Coming to Vegas, baby. No, actually, I don't think I even affected the presets on that. It was just probably whatever was on it. Except I might have added a holiday station at one point, and maybe it switched to an Elvis station. I don't know. That's what I'm going with, okay?
Yeah, sure. Likely story. We're going to need to tighten up your alibi if you're going to be spending more time in the greater Vegas area. So we think that you might also be primed to maybe have a second career, maybe a rebrand as an Elvis impersonator. How willing are you to slick back the hair and get a little weird in a leather suit?
We'd have to get a trim first, I would imagine. So why not? Let's go for it. Got nothing to lose.
Hey, listen, let's put it in Sharpie right now. Jamil as Elvis at the Javelina 100 this year. Let's see what we can make happen. Let's get a petition, and let's get the chat behind it.
To start like a change.org or
I have no idea.
Like that.
Yeah, I know that he doesn't read his social media mentions, so you might just have to go down to Henderson right now, find Jamil on course, and just start pestering him. We can keep that momentum going for the next, 8 months, and maybe we can make it happen.
Let's do it.
Jamil, what is give us a little bit of insight in terms of what the ambiance is like out there right now. Obviously, we're watching on our screen. It seems like there are more people there, obviously, than yesterday. You've got a lot of race distances going on right now. So, what is the vibe like out there at Cornerstone Park?
Yeah, there are a ton of people out here right now just running. I mean, you look across the park and it is just runners, ultra runners everywhere going all directions. It looks a little bit chaotic, to be honest. There are, yeah, folks going this way, that way, this trail, that trail. They're using every inch of this park at this point in time. And of course, we just have those, I believe, 100-mile runners that are on that same course as yesterday. So if I look straight ahead at our kind of the runway where people were finishing yesterday, there's just a handful of folks, and everyone else is going every which way. So it's a good atmosphere. People are kind of spreading out. It's a bit quieter here at the start finish line right now because everyone is out on their first or second loop at this point in time. But spirits are high. I see birthday boy coming through, Andy Glaze.
I wondered if that was
Happy
Glaze
birthday.
earlier. I saw Glaze in what I'm assuming is now his favorite shirt because I feel like it's the only shirt I ever see him in photos and at races. His
Shirtless?
Cocodona 250 T-shirt that he has.
Oh,
And I
he's
thought that was him.
He's
He's
shirtless right now.
Before
But he
the race,
is, yeah, he is rocking the Cocodona trucker cap though.
love it, love
And
it.
that,
And
I think,
believe
is a
you've got
staple.
the Cocodona hoodie on underneath there.
I do. This is well, currently the one-off Cocodona camo hoodie, but I think soon to be available in the Cocodona shop.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. And then there is a question here in the chat, Jamil, that I think maybe you were more apt to answer or not answer than either of us. Ultra running history in the chat, so shout out. I believe that's Davy Crockett. Huge shout out to you. Are there any lap recording mats this year? Years ago, a notorious runner ran tiny laps all night to pile up 140 miles in 24 hours.
Yeah, that is correct. I am not 100% certain if there is. I would hope so, just to verify that people are indeed making their way around. It is, yeah, a bit of a. I don't know if it's confusing, but like I said, there's a kind of a lot going on with this course. We're calling it. I think someone in the chat yesterday called it a reverse C. So.
Yeah.
You go out in a C shape, you come almost back around, and then it's a slightly different way and uses part of the same course. So you definitely have to be paying attention out here. And I can imagine in the wee hours of the night, it's important to ensure that those folks are making it on all the different pieces. So I think definitely a couple strategically placed mats would ensure that would happen. There is one section that is a pure turnaround that is not far from here. I could go over and give it a little look-see and see. But yeah, that would definitely be important.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Definitely.
the turnaround right there. And is that Chris Cam? Chris, do we see a mat over there? This is just investigative journalism right here. I don't know.
No, does not look to have a mat at the far end of that U-turn.
All right.
Honor system. That's what we're rolling with in that
Yep.
particular section of the course.
Yeah, I mean, as I was always told growing up, in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, honesty is the best policy.
And I think for 99 point there, they are going to fulfill that honor system. And I think most of us, we don't do this for anything other than our own personal reasons, whether that's training, racing, etc. So
Yeah,
I think it's very true about the sport in general.
for sure. For sure. How does the weather out there compare to where we were at yesterday at about this time?
It's tough to say. Overall, I don't know if I feel the sun as intensely as yesterday, although I could just be forgetting. I'm not sure. But yeah, it feels great. Like the sun feels nice, especially after it being pretty cold last night. I think, for a day like today where, most folks are just out here to enjoy it. Of course, probably shooting for PRs, but not necessarily looking for a record-setting performance or competing for a national championship. I think this is going to be an ideal day of running. There is little to no wind out here. The sun is out. It's clear. It's still cool, but warm in the sun. So I think it's just a perfect day for a weekend of ultra running.
Yeah, I mean it looks like a good time. And one of the unique things about this course, obviously, it is different from the USATF course, to the point where you actually have what was it? I think 45% soft surface on this course, whereas the USATF course I think was about 5%
Yes.
soft surface. So definitely makes for maybe a more enjoyable day for those who are just out maybe chasing PRs or who are just out here to have a good time.
Yeah, that second half, that reverse C is almost entirely gravel on the way back, right next to the lake, and it stays a little bit lower off of the course than when you go out and you stay higher up on that harder surface, the concrete and the asphalt going over by that apartment complex on the backside that you saw yesterday.
Amazing, amazing. This
Something
is a
that's
lot of
pretty
fun.
interesting. Yeah, something that's interesting out here, which kind of concerned me yesterday flying the drone around, is there is quite the bird population. And like, I think there's a bunch of Canadian geese out here that like to poop all over the course and kind of introduce some hazards. There is a nice grass section where that turnaround is, and they like to go from the grass down to the water, back and forth, just perpetually. And I think we even had reports of one runner getting pooped on his hat at some point yesterday. So there's some definite hazards out here when it comes to the wildlife.
Hey, good luck if you get pooped on, right? That's the whole thing. Maybe, it was the USATF championship, Canadian geese, maybe a little sabotage, not thrilled, a little international warfare.
I think you should win a prize if that happens to you.
Yeah, I mean,
There should be a
yes.
cash purse available.
I mean, at least enough money to get you a new hat.
Yes, definitely.
It seems like an aggressive thing to fake, I would say. Just be like, well, hey, here we go. So
Well, it kind of reminds me of like in a burro race, they have that poop grid. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
You buy up squares. I saw this at the Superior Burro race. I think they do it as a fundraiser. It's like a 50-50 raffle. They put out these grid lines in the starting stretch of a burro race. They say go, and like almost immediately these donkeys or burros just start pooping. And if it's in your square, you win part of the prize purse. So I think we could do something similar out here. It's just an idea, just a thought.
We'll take it up with Ken. It is Nevada. It is just outside of Vegas, down in Henderson. So anything you can bet on, probably fair game. Take that to the sports book.
Have you gotten a chance to chat with Ken at all today, Jamil? And how, if so, how is he doing this morning?
Just briefly before they got started, but he is in high spirits. This is, for him, I think, one of his favorite weekends of the year, probably as well as his Blue Race, which is in Southern California, another great event. But yeah, he's in high spirits. He is putting on a show out here once again. You can tell he is amped up about this experience, and he really goes all out for providing an amazing experience. And you can see that with the fact that the event sells out. It has so many wonderful people out here in the sport. It's just great.
Yeah, how is his voice doing today? Because hearing him do the pre-race introductions, his voice sounded a lot like mine, which obviously everyone watching can tell is not doing too great right now. But we're getting through. So how was Ken's voice doing?
Those were my thoughts exactly. I thought you guys were a little bit twinsies this morning with the voices, so we appreciate both of you. Ken Ken loves to talk it up and interact with everyone. And yeah, he was putting on a show once again today. So hopefully he can get a little bit of a breather and a rest and not have to talk quite as much today as the day progresses.
Yeah, no one can. He's just gonna keep things all gas, no brakes, and continue to just put on a show.
Yep.
Definitely.
So we definitely see a lot of folks out there on course. We have about 230 starters this morning across the 6 races that kicked off just about a half hour ago. And we actually still have 30 runners on course from the USATF 100-mile championship. A couple age group national champions yet to be crowned, still out there grinding it out, including our oldest competitor in yesterday's race, one Fast Eddie. He is currently, make sure I quote this correct, he is 63 laps into his 85-lap journey around the USATF course. So Fast Eddie Russo proving that, hey, you can be over the age of 80 and still crushing it at the ultra distances. And he's been supported throughout the night by a whole host of other athletes still chasing either PRs or those age group national championships. And then
do we have any update on the 70 to 74-year-old age group category that we were following a little bit yesterday?
Oh, that's 75 to 79.
75 to 79.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So Jim McGill, the 75-year-old from Saratoga, California, is currently leading that age group. He's got 73 laps down, 12 to go for him. He is out in front of what is still shaping up to be quite the battle for this podium. So David Blaylock has a pretty comfortable second place, I suppose. It's all relative. He's knocked out 65 laps. And then Dennis Traficante and Todd Lee, both also 79 years old, are separated by just 13 minutes on course or so for that third and final podium spot in the 75 to 79-year-old age group at the USATF 100-mile road national championship. So really something for everyone out there. But I think it's just an overall good time, and they're probably boosted up by the additional 230 folks that they're passing around that start-finish area, plus the 50 or so 72-hour competitors that are also out there cruising along and have been throughout the night. So a lot happening, as Jamil mentioned, sort of controlled chaos out there with 300 plus runners rolling for all the same 1 or 2 mile loops, but got different goals. Some people finishing up here in the next few minutes. Some people who started this morning finishing up at about 2 o'clock local time. And some people rocking right on into Monday morning.
We got Sarah Newberry in the chat. Sarah pops into all our live streams, so huge shout out to Sarah. She was in the Black Canyon live stream chat for basically the whole day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will be providing coverage of the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival for about another half hour or so. So we're going to cover the first hour of today's race. We covered the USATF 100-mile championships last night here at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. And we just wanted to, showcase the atmosphere around some of these other distances, show everyone else some love, and showcase. So these races all happen on a slightly different course at the same venue here at Cornerstone Park. And so we'll be on for about another half hour or so, but we appreciate everyone taking the time to tune in here. And hopefully before we end this thing, we'll be able to talk Ken Rubelli into coming on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we are cruising through the course, following some runners here. As you can see, you got folks going every which way, it feels like, on these trails right here in the middle of a neighborhood. So you probably also have some social scenic walkers getting their morning going here. Beautiful Saturday morning down in Henderson, Nevada. And, we see some pretty high quality athletes come out to this event, even outside of that USATF National Championship. Pete Kostelnick was at this event last year. I believe he ran the 12-hour. I think we've also had Wyatt Hockmeyer running out here. So this is a race that folks travel to even when a national championship isn't on the line to come out and really enjoy. Just a testament to what Ken and Stephanie and Beyond Limits Running have done out here at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival down in Henderson, Nevada. Hey, some people, you just want to go spend a holiday weekend in the greater Las Vegas area. That's cool too. You can come hang out and knock out some miles, potentially get a solid training run in for an upcoming spring or summer ultra, or hey, maybe this is your A race. You were able to stay locked in through the holiday season, sometimes grinding out between all that inclement weather that you might have in those dark November, December, January months, and out here crushing it.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, it's not just the elites on the 100-mile side who are out here. We also had, as I mentioned yesterday, Bud Biamba, who is from Mongolia. He's kind of a legend in the fixed time space. He's out here for the 72-hour race. He was your 10-day winner at Across the Years. He was your 6-day winner at 6 Days in the Dome. He was your 144-hour winner at 3 days at the fair last year. I could go on and on about how great Bud is at the fixed time stuff, and for him to come, to Henderson, Nevada for the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival, 72-hour event that kicked off yesterday, I think just is a testament to, how many great runners come out for events aside from just the USATF 100-mile championships.
Indeed, indeed. Bud is still cruising along in that 72-hour race, sitting in third place overall, second male, has completed about 96 miles at this point, having traversed 45 laps of this 2.1277 mile course. So Bud having himself quite a good go of it thus far, and probably enjoying the scenery, enjoying the energy that these runners who just started a little over half an hour ago are now bringing to the course as well. And you can see here that last gradual uphill that the runners will face, hit that hard, acute right turn, and then cross the timing mat at the start-finish line and head back out for yet another lap.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty cool aerial shot, and this does show the difference between the USATF 100-mile course and the course for more of the fixed-time events and the more traditional Jackpot Ultra Running Festival events. Is our USATF 100-mile championships came straight from kind of the bottom of your screen straight up to the finish line, whereas all of your fixed-time runners will kind of come from the right center of your screen there and make kind of a 45-degree turn to go up to the start-finish line.
Yeah, really hope that folks factor that into their finishing kick. You don't want to be trying to make a pass and then get boxed out on that hard right-hand turn. So the 50-mile folks have actually, I don't think the 50-mile folks will have to worry about that as much because I think it's a slightly different rise to the finish there. But the 100-milers got 47 times going through here to plan their attack at the finish. Make sure they carry as much momentum around that right-hander in case they got to pass someone, nip them just at the line. And you can see a bit of that crushed gravel section right there, underfoot, a little softer versus the more asphalt components up here. This was a pretty key area of the course for the races yesterday, as it's the only part of the course that has shade in the morning. And once the shade is gone from this section, the runners are completely exposed on course. All sun throughout their entire loop for about 5.5 hours before the shade comes in from the other side as that sunset approaches. So hope the runners enjoy the shade while they have it on this section, because it's not going to be there for long. And once it's gone, it will be sorely missed.
Yeah, I mean, once this shade is gone, you're just fully exposed in the sun. And while, again, the temps of a high of 70 degrees may not seem like it's a lot, that sun exposure can be brutal, especially for some of these athletes who are coming from cooler climates.
Yeah, that was definitely a storyline that we were following for the championship athletes yesterday. A lot of folks coming from the Northeast, the Great Plains, to travel down to Henderson, Nevada and participate, and whether they were acclimated to the heat. I mean, we did see the winner on the men's side, Arlen Glick, coming down from Ohio. So it is navigable for some folks that might be coming from cooler temperatures. You just got to make sure, hopefully, that you that you got some heat training in some way, shape, or form. Maybe threw on some extra layers, and then make sure on the day that you actually have a plan for keeping your core body temperature cool, so that you can stay moving forward and just overall feeling good. The energy is going to be there to support you, but you got to make sure that the body feels right on the day.
Yeah, and here you're really getting kind of a good sense for um, what this course has to offer right now. You're going to have sections where runners are going in opposing directions. As long as you're aware and navigating traffic, it can be maybe a little bit exciting. You're able to see people more frequently, things like that. So
yeah, you're seeing right here on that sign, the red arrows were directing the folks running that USATF National Championship. They had a specific 1.17 mile course, and that's the camera view. That's actually where our camera person is going down. But on high, following the black arrows, leads these runners along the 2.1277 mile loop that they're traversing for all the other races, everything from the 6-hour up to the 72-hour, and today's start of the 150-mile races as well. So a lot of the folks that you're seeing walking right here are either in that USATF 100-mile championship. Try to spot some back bibs and see if we can figure out what age group some of these folks are in, or there's local residents or crew members having a nice morning stroll. So we're popping up to the the Chris Cam. You can see our studio set up here right next to the start-finish area. Been pretty crucial for how we've been broadcasting and getting line of sight. So appreciate Ken, Stephanie, and the whole team at Beyond Limits Running for allowing us to be here this weekend and help broadcast the greatness that is the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. And you're seeing runners here at that start-finish line making moves through the course. These timing mats, as they pass through, where they'll be able to check their splits on the board. And see how far they've gone and where their competition may be.
You know, one thing we're going to have to do before we end this broadcast as well is we're going to send it over to the Chris Cam. We're also going to need, Chris, if you can hear us, are you able to show us this menu board for the aid station that Ken continues to hype up? I've got to see it. I've got to see the menu board. Wait,
All right.
Is that the aid station offering? I just assumed that was a clock. Can't really see it, but I'm going to trust Chris that he's showing us that because it has the aid station offerings. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it wouldn't be Vegas Energy if we didn't have some large LED signs in the mix. So shout out there. And I think we might actually see Ken himself right there. Very proud of his sign. So thanks, Ken, for having us out there. We're back at the aid station. You can see a bit of the offerings on the scene, including Salt Stick, one of the sponsors who helped make this live stream possible. So thank you to Salt Stick.
Salt Stick at the aid station, yeah?
Yeah.
A little product placement. Shout out to the good folks over at Salt Stick. In addition, shout out to our good friends over at Gooder. Incredible sunglasses over there. So go and grab your pair of $25 sunglasses at gooder.com. And then the Battery Life Kings in the watch industry are good friends over at Koros, known for having insane battery life up to 144 hours in standard GPS mode. You can go over to Koros.com and get yourself a free watch band with purchase. Use the promo code Jackpot for that secondary watch band so that, you can look good. Salt Stick will help you feel good, and then you'll run gooder.
Attaboy. Yeah, it's going to be bright out there today, so hopefully folks are linked up. You can see right there on screen, we actually just had Ken pop in. Looks like he's repping some pretty quality sunglasses. So
How many laps for 100? 46. 46.
we're seeing some folks getting some aid. As we mentioned, you have the 72-hour race that started yesterday. So those folks have already been grinding it out for almost 25 hours at this point, going through the night. But then we have runners who might be getting an early jump on nutrition, having just started about 45 or so minutes ago.
Well, hopefully they're getting their Salt Stick.
Yeah.
It's all about, like you said, taking care of problems before they become problems, right?
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and check out the old. I sent it to That was not good. Yeah, I don't know why that feed is pulling in like that. So, give you an overhead view of the atmosphere here at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. Let's send it back to the Chris cam here.
Like the real alligator comes back. Yay! Yes! Yay! Oh my God! Yeah. My leg is good. Yeah, we have a little food tomorrow. My leg. Look at it! Scooby-Doo going on! Scooby-Doo!
Indeed, I believe a Scooby-Doo outfit. Love it. What are your thoughts? You a Scooby-Doo guy?
Of course. Come on now.
We can continue to be friends. Anyone who says no,
Didn't have a childhood.
out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't have cable growing up. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe next lap. Yeah. They're on track setup. Not too far. They're on the course.
How you feeling?
Going out slow and trying to manage the day.
Good. Better than I saw. But probably feeling better than the last time I saw you.
Under the culvert.
5 days in deep.
Oh, 5 days, yeah.
Good job. Keep it up, Amy.
Yeah, so you see us heading down the Henderson Strip.
We're gonna have to talk Ken into getting some like neon lights for that area next year. We'll have to see what we can do. Maybe we can get him a partnership with a neon lights company based out of Henderson. We're gonna have to do something. It needs a more Henderson Strip vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely had some lights, some string light action yesterday, but we're about to have 3 times as many runners passing through tonight as we saw last night. So yeah, we gotta keep the energy high throughout, at least an ambiance visually, because I know that these runners out there are definitely going to be bringing it in spirit. As you see the buckles that the runners will be awarded with.
That's pretty cool.
And some trophies for our winners out there.
Nice.
Truly all in on the Jackpot theme as well. Love to see it.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
I'm going to try it.
Oh, and here we got the merch. Past year's shirts, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, we have you unmuted. Are you able to just tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here?
Yeah, these are prior year Jackpot Ultra shirts. And I will say that Ken goes all out in putting together some really nice merch. Some of these shirts are really fantastic. Like, I'm a big fan of the Run Hippie Happy version. It looks like from a few years ago. And I really like this Bet Big Run Long green shirt as well. Of course, this year's shirt is actually a really sharp one as well. This is the, for those who haven't seen it yet, this is the 2022 Jackpot Ultra shirt. I think it's, I was able to snag one for myself, and I plan on wearing it as I am running down the trails and canals back home in Phoenix.
Yeah, amazing. He definitely spares no expense on those swag options. They look really great. The Run Happy Hippie shirt reminds me of like a Grateful Dead inspired shirt.
Absolutely, they're very sharp.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris.
Yep, you got it.
And again, we're watching as runners are coming down the Henderson Strip here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 6-hour runners who kicked off today. We've got 12-hour runners. We got 24-hour and 48-hour runners. We got 50-mile and 100-mile runners who.
All right, we're back.
We are back.
Cool. Yeah, no, we had just had eyes on a finisher in our 100-mile championships. I think that might have been. Let me see if I can get it exactly. Might have been Mona Gutierrez, who had just finished and was getting some love from family and friends.
We've got her on static AMB there. She just walked past.
Actually, I believe it was Carla Lukoski, the 55-year-old from Las Vegas, Nevada, the local, just finishing up her 100-mile national championship journey. And if I am correct, yeah, I think she just secured herself a national championship at that 55 to 59 age group. So congratulations to Carla. Your champion.
Amazing.
At the 55 to 59 age group. At the USATF 100-mile road national championships.
Yeah, it's amazing that, we're going to be hopping off the air here in just a matter of moments, but the journey is still continuing for a lot of these runners. Whether they started today, we're going to have some age group national champions crowned for the USATF 100-mile road national championship, which started yesterday. We're going to have some 72-hour folks continuing on, and we're going to have a plethora of finishers that will continue to occur out throughout the day.
Energy is going to be high. If you are down in the greater Henderson area, feel free to pop on down to Cornerstone Park and check it all in for yourself. Going to be quite the scene, quite the fun down there all night into tomorrow. Just, celebrate your holiday weekend by getting inspired by a lot of these runners, young and old.
Yep, and then we've got Jem Rooney in the chat. Australia's own.
Yeah.
He wants to give a shout out and apologies for being cut off on screen to Hector Rodriguez, H-Rod, out there running the 24-hour, and his niece, Alexia Rodriguez, doing her first 12-hour at the age of 13 with her dad, Johnny Rodriguez.
Right on.
Huge shout out to them and the entire Wolfpack family. And Jem, thanks for tuning in from the outskirts of Sydney.
Yeah, it looks like Alexia came through that first lap, that first 2.1277 mile loop, about 28 minutes. So, cruising along like a healthy little, 13-minute pace there? That's a good start for a 12-hour grind fest.
For sure. And then obviously got to give a shout out to my wife in the chat. She's giving some love to Jem, my wife.
My wife.
From Middle Park. Well, born in Ipswich, Australia, just outside of Brisbane. We love Jem every day outside of when Queensland is playing New South Wales in rugby. Then we can't get along, but outside of that, huge shout out to all the Aussies. And then Jamil in the chat, having a good deal of fun here. Let's find gimbals, Jem. Let's find gimbals. And we're gonna go to our on-course studio with Jamil Curry before we wrap things up. Jamil, if you can unmute on your end. What do we got going on over there? You got all the
Hey,
gimbals
Matt.
accounted for.
Yeah, that came out this morning. I think Bryce coined the term. So, yeah, LFG. Let's find gimbals. Good stuff. But yeah, we are gonna be wrapping things up here. I think we got Ken over here to help close it out. But yeah, what I was gonna say earlier, that needs to be muted. Thanks. Yeah, it's been really cool on course this morning to see all the back and forth traffic. It seems really social out there, just like a really fun atmosphere. I honestly wish I was participating this weekend to kind of partake and see all the people. It just seems like it really is a big festival party atmosphere out here. But yeah, I want to turn it over to Ken. Huge thank you to him for bringing Steep Life Media out here to cover 3 days of this race from the introduction on Thursday to the incredible race yesterday and wrapping it up today with the kickoff of the rest of the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. So I'm going to hand the headset over to Ken, and he can close it out with you guys. But thank you so much for everyone tuning in, and we hope to see you next year out here.
Let's go. See, I got my hair problem. So
Hey,
don't
Ken,
laugh.
thank you so much for joining us. Before I let you get, talking too much here, we've got to let the people know what suit number are we on here, and is this a new suit compared to the 2 that you brought out yesterday?
No, this is one of the 7 yesterday. The problem is men's large in the U.S. is obviously different than men's large in China, or I've had the dry cleaner create issues with shrinking my stuff. But no, it's just the same one. Did you change your clothes? Because you've had the same thing on the whole time. So hopefully you have a different shirt.
I've got a different
Wow.
shirt on. Yesterday I was repping EIU's finest Taggart Van Etten, the retired ultra runner who was in the chat. I was representing for him, and now I'm just wearing some other gear.
You know what? That's a good segue when you said retired ultra runner, because one of the things out there, of course, it was an epic night last night, right? We were all giddy watching Camille doing what she's doing, and just people running real fast. And we had the Achilles Guide, the blind group out here. We were blessed to make a large donation to them to really help educate the kids that they exist. Services for the blind. But you said retired. It's funny. People don't know there's some iconic old timers out here. And in a minute here, Scott Turner. So I met the guy last year. I didn't know who he was, and we're talking. He said he did Badwater, and I'm a geek. I like all that stuff. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Yeah, I had a baby stroller and a water jug." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you're the dude who did the triple Badwater with a baby stroller and a water jug." So lo and behold, Scott's out here doing this. A lot of people don't know him. So when he comes by, I'm going to follow him with a water jug and a stroller and say he forgot something. But it's neat. He came out last year and he was only going to do a 48-hour race, and he stopped and wasn't going to get a buckle. And I told him, you're going to offend my wife. She made the buckle. You don't want it. And he's like, "You jerk." And he kept running and got it. So it's been a fun event, like I said. So we got this iconic triple Badwater crossing guy, 82-year-old brand new people, Camille. But most importantly, I called Jamil, a few months back and known him a while and said, "Hey, look, we'd be honored if you want to step outside of your own company and start doing other stuff." And, he said yes. The team's been great, wildly exceeded expectations. And I kept telling him, "Hey, if Black Canyon's on the same weekend, remember, we start on Friday. You're done at 10 o'clock at night. Black Canyon's only a 4-hour drive, so you can do that too." So, we're already talking about next year. And there's no question, if Jamil will do it again, we're in. And he doesn't sleep either, so I'm pretty sure we'll do it. But in any event, we thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing some of the footage. I haven't been online once yet, but Matt, thank you to your guys in the studio. This is brand new for all of us. We're all working our tails off, and can't thank you all enough. And I think each year it's going to grow. And with the gold standard Jamil leading the way, I just hope I can stand on the coattails and still get him to come out in person. So, any event, I guess I'll wrap up and say, thanks a lot for everything. And, look for next year. We're going to do this again, and it's been a lot of fun. And appreciate everyone watching and supporting. And if you're in Vegas, we go till 8 a.m. Monday, so Jamil will be home and asleep by then, and maybe I'll be in a different suit. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, Ken. Thank you so much. And to our audience out there, thank you all so much for tuning in. That is going to wrap it up with our coverage here at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. I'm going to be signing off. I'm Matt Feldick, joined.
I'm Skylar Hall. It's been a pleasure. For Jamil, for Ken, for Chris Warden, for the Bryce Cam, for the bike, for everyone, for Enzo, for everyone who's made this what it's been for the last 3 days, including all of you watching at home. Thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And, hey, take a trip on down to Henderson, whether it's to rage this weekend or to rage at the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival next year.